What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We haven't done one of these in a while, but today we're going to be doing a rapid review. All right, guys, I have four knives here on the table, and we're just going to go through really quick and hit them overview very high level. These are models that came in via the pass around, and I'm getting ready to gear up to go on vacation, and I don't want to hold these up. So I'm trying to move everything that comes in through Wednesday along, and then anything that comes in Thursday, Friday, and next week, I'm just going to let the group know that I'm on vacation, so they'll be a little delayed. But I wanted to go ahead and cover these because I know that there are other reviews out there. I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts and impression. This is the Rosecraft Briar Patch Jack. I am an affiliate with Traditional Pocket Knives, and I know that they carry these particular models, and they're just really fantastic for the money. You got dual back springs here, and the really interesting thing I think about the Briar Patch is that it has two different blade shapes. So when you first open the one closest to the decal side or the crest side, you have a nice little clip point blade here, very useful for a multitude of tasks. And the only thing about dual bladed slip joints for me are the fact that it's a little uncomfortable to kind of hold it with the other blade in there, but they're not really meant to be hard used, in my opinion. With the dual blades, they're meant to kind of work for a multitude of tasks. So this is going to be very nice. It's got belly, anything that you're trying to cut on a flat surface, regardless of where you're at. It's going to work very nicely for dense material as well. This is going to really work for you like anything circular that's dense, because you'll be able to kind of get your initial bite pushed down and get through it, and you'll be good to go. Walk and talk on here is pretty good. I would say that you got good access to the nail nick. It's a tall blade, so it's easy to pull out, and I would say that first pull for me is probably about a 4, with the second one being like a 4.7, so not bad at all. On the other side of the Briar Patch Jack, that's a mouthful, is the reverse Tonto sheep's foot blade. And immediately I noticed that the pull on this, I don't know if it's the location on it, but that is definitely a 5 on that first pull, and then it drops down to like a 4.5. Here you got more of like a utility blade shape, and I do like the fact that the utility blade shape lands on this side, because the way that this slopes down for the clip point, a little bit more comfortable than it is the other way around. So if you're trying to push through something dense that you're holding upright, and you want something that isn't going to slip out of the cut, this is going to be really good for that. Also, being able to pull, it's going to be nice because it's slanted down slightly, so it's going to pull the material in. It's not going to want to drag out as easily. Overall walk and talk on this one, I would say it's a solid 5. It's not going to wow anybody, but it is going to be pretty satisfactory. And again, I don't think these dual blades are really meant to kind of open and close and fidget with a little bit when you pull it out of your pocket. But what I really like about the Rosecrafts is the attention to detail. Just really pretty scales. I love the way that they bring them almost to like a mirror polish. And I guess you could call it a mirror. You can see my light reflecting off of that. Very beautiful, nice transitions. The bolsters are well polished and look good, almost seamless on the back spring here. So I really like the quality on these Rosecrafts, and that is the Briar Patch. So we're going to keep it moving along. The next one we're going to take a quick look at, and this is going to be for my budget-friendly friends out there that are on a little bit of a tighter budget, or maybe you just want something that is going to be, easy to disregard after you use and abuse it. So I'm thinking kind of like work knife on here, but this is coming from Kershaw. You have very aggressive milled polymer scales on top of steel liner, so it's going to be very durable, very robust. It does flex a little bit, which I was surprised by, but it's not nearly as bad as like a bug out or something like that coming from Benchmade. So it does have a little bit of flex, but truth be told, when you're actually holding it in hand, there's not a whole lot of that flex there. The other thing I thought that was interesting about that is this is a crossbar lock that is assisted. I have never seen that before. So when you go to launch it, You just barely got to get it out there and it fires all the way through. I have seen a lot of crossbar locks from Kershaw. They do a good job with their crossbar lock. I have no concerns with it feeling mushy on the deployment. But again, you know, some people need a little bit of help with the deployment, and this is definitely going to be able to do that for you. You got a very beautiful blade shape on here. I can't remember what the steel was, guys. I'm so sorry. D2 steel, made in China, in-house design. I believe that's what that crest means. You got a static washed, stone washed finish here. Nice clip point blade, lots of belly on this one. It is a full size folder with a reversible pocket clip, which is good because you got an ambidextrous lock. It's easy to use right-handed and left-handed. It is a two-hand close for me personally because you got to get past that brake for the assist, but the assist fires very nicely and the build quality on this is not all that bad at all, and it is a very affordable model coming from Kershaw. But that is the layup, guys. Very cool one. All right, next up is going to be from Real Steel, and I already forgot the name, so I apologize. This is the Serenity. This one here, also a slip joint knife, but it does have a party trick, and that is the pocket clip, which is nested into the top here, and you can switch it by changing out the screws. It is reversible, and it, again, really deep carry, falls way far back. The build comes up a little high here, so it is a little uncomfortable because that does poke a little bit, but nice overall. In 690 steel, it's got the European 3/4 stop. You got a nice drop point blade here with a little harpoon and some jimping on the top. You got a polished machine satin finish going on here. There you can see the blade steel and you can see the maker. You got contour G10 scales, which are very nice. It is aggressively jimped, but not too aggressive where this should not saw away at the pocket. You got a little spot for a lanyard here. You got a crown spine, which I think is very nice. It goes all the way up to the harpoon and then it flattens out there. So you got like a hybrid spine. Full knife. So this is a slip joint, but it is a full 4-finger knife, which is really nice. The lock on it is plenty strong too. You would have to push pretty hard for it to start to break, and even if it did break, it would stop at the 3/4 spot. So long as you aren't too close, you're going to be close if you have large hands, but if it breaks on you and you're not too close to the blade, it might not get you, but if it bites you, it won't be as bad. The pull on it is very nice. Very smooth, very easy to do. The walk and talk sounds really good. So I would say this is probably that longer pull is like a 4, and then that last maybe like a 4.8, not quite a 5, but it's just that distance and the fact that the lock is still out there that gets it there. Walk and talk on this one's pretty good with the steel, and it does have a stop pin. So good walk and talk on there. Again, very comfortable. If you didn't like the pocket clip and you just wanted to get a sheath or something like that to carry it in, you could just simply remove that. I like that because it's not going to leave any holes or anything like you would see from a normal reversible pocket clip that kind of nest into the scales themselves. So you can just take it out and move it. It's not awful, but you know, you can see it as I grip down to cut with it. You can see it kind of is pushing the meat forward a little bit. So I wish they would just do like a little bit more, maybe knock it down a little bit more and ramp it, but not too much because you do want it to kind of lift up as you go into the pocket clip. I mean, into the pocket with the pocket clip. But that is the Serenity. Let's go ahead and check out the next Real Steel real quick. This is the Ventus, and this one is a much more premium option here. You're still getting N690 blade steel, which they make it really small here to see that, but it is N690. You got a very aggressive clip point, almost a trailing point, but it is a clip. Interesting fuller instead of a nail nick on here, so some different design aesthetics. Titanium here for your scales and for your back spring. Actually, is that back spring steel? I can't remember now. Yeah, the back spring is steel, but the scales are titanium. So it's just coated gray to look titanium, but it is steel. You got a little bit of gear back here, so that's nice. And it swells back here too. I like that for the ring finger and the pinky. And I'm able to get all 4 fingers on here, and it's super comfortable. They did a good job keeping this titanium pocket clip that's milled way flat down to the scale, and I actually did have a little bit of an issue with it going into the pocket. It would get bound up in my jeans, but when I tried it on my cargo shorts, or my khaki shorts rather, it went in and out just fine. But it is very, very strong, so doesn't tap or anything, but very, very strong. What is really cool about this one, and I'm not going to mess with it too much, is this particular bolt here. As you turn it, it actually adjusts the strength on the lock. So I don't think you can see it externally. So it must be an internal mechanism. Oops, I did that upside down. Yeah, it's an internal mechanism because you can't see anything back here. But what it's doing underneath of that particular back spring is it's rotating the part that sits on it so that it doesn't move as much. So when you see it pull out here, the part that's here is kind of pulling it in and strengthening it, or creating tension there. So I left it kind of in the middle, but it can be as soft as a 4. I would say right now this is like a 7 and an 8, like a solid 7 for that first pull and a solid 8 for that second pull. And it does have a stop pin, so it's a little bit of a thud on the close, but the open, very clicky clacky, very easy to use. Nice thin geometry on this one, and honestly the Serenity had a nice thin geometry on it as well. Lots of belly. It's going to be good for tabletop. Excellent pitch grip, man. You just fall right into the pinch grip hole for that detailed work, and to be able to get through that one. But this one a little bit more premium because it does have titanium on it, but I think this is a very cool little gent's knife with a little bit of character to it. Very interesting. That one is the Venter. And that's it. Those are the 4 knives that we looked at today. Which one was your favorite? Let me know down in the comments below, guys. I really enjoyed getting to check all of these out. Real Steel coming out with tons and tons of interesting models that are slip joints with the European half stop on them, and that Briar Patch Jack coming from Rosecraft. Just continue to be blown away by them, guys. They do phenomenal work for the money, and the steel seems to be treated really well. And then the layup from Kershaw. Those are the 4 knives that we got to check out today. Again, this was more rapid review style. Kind of wanted to go through these quickly and just touch at them at a high level. I was hoping, because you guys aren't super into the slip joints, that maybe perhaps doing them all together as a team or in tandem, you would enjoy that a little bit more. So just let me know what you thought about that down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, if you could hit that like on the way out, it does help me and the algorithm. The links are down below for anything that you want to shop for. Codes are down there too. Special thank you to my channel member. I love you guys. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.